Hey everyone, and welcome to Secular Strike Back. I'm Toothless Grin Kim. I need you to be ruthlessly honest with me for the next 30 seconds. I want you to I want you to close your eyes or just look vaguely off camera and pretend and check in with your soul. Is there a hum? Not a nice sound. A low vibrating frequency right beneath the surface of your peaceful life. It's that tiny, insistent voice that whispers something isn't settled. It's the feeling you get when you've had too much caffeine and are trying to meditate simultaneously. It's a subconscious awareness that maybe, just maybe, the foundation of your entire life philosophy is made of cheap particle board. If you are a Christian, if you're currently clinging to a faith that promises peace beyond understanding, and you feel that hum, congratulations. That humming, low grade anxiety is not a sign of failure. It is the most vital, honest, necessary alarm system you possess. It is signaling the presence of false peace. And today we're tearing it down. We need to stop confusing a stagnant pond with true serenity. The low grade anxiety many believers feel is not a character flaw. It's your inherent, rational mind demanding reality. It's the check engine light of the soul saying, hey, we are operating on fumes and magical thinking right now. So, what is false peace? We can call it spiritual monopoly money. It's a dangerous, superficial tranquility derived from ignoring inconvenient truths, self deception, or relying on a spiritual resume, your good deeds, your church attendance, your carefully curated list of correct beliefs, rather than engaging in genuine, messy, human self reflection. False peace is the easiest thing in the world to manufacture. It requires it requires zero courage and maximum denial. You simply sign a spiritual subcontract. Dear God, you take all my pain, fear, and responsibility, and in return, I will pretend everything is fine. This piece is a cosmetic fix, a spiritual band aid applied to a compound fracture. It makes you lazy. It allows you to feel that you have solved the core existential questions without ever having done the heavy lifting of intellectual honesty, self acceptance, or critical investigation. I call the Christian version of this the checklist calm. You believe you have peace because you completed the spiritual checklist. Did I read my daily devotional? Check. Did I pray about it? Check. Did I avoid the sins I hate the most today? Check. The peace you feel in that moment is contingent. It is based entirely on your performance metrics. It's a fragile, self generated calm that demands constant maintenance. And what happens the moment a mistake is made? The moment you fail, doubt, or the inconvenience of reality barges in? That fragile checklist calm collapses. It doesn't just fade, it shatters into a million pieces because it was never anchored in objective truth. It was anchored in your subjective, imperfect human effort. You have to scramble immediately to rebuild it, usually through intense prayer, confession, or doubling down on zealotry. It is exhausting and it is entirely unnecessary. You must heed that nagging anxiety and swap that breakable, checklist dependent calm for deep, resilient, capital P, peace. The core mechanism of Christian false peace is the transfer of responsibility. It says, you are fundamentally broken, but don't worry, an external entity, completely outside your control, will fix it. This is the ultimate psychological shortcut. It actively discourages the development of self-acceptance, self-esteem, self-reflection, and self-awareness. The very tools required for actual lasting peace. Why reflect deeply on your flaws when you can simply pray for forgiveness and have them magically covered by the blood of Christ? Why dig into the psychological roots of your anxiety when you can just declare, I cast my burdens upon the Lord? This is the celestial vending machine approach to life. You put in the coin of faith, press the button of prayer, and expect the perfectly packaged solution to drop out. But reality is not a vending machine. Reality is a forge. By relying on this external source, the sky daddy, this cosmic fixer, you are telling yourself subconsciously that you are incapable of handling reality, that you are too inherently flawed to trust your own judgment, and that true serenity must be imported rather than cultivated. This is why false peace breeds emotional immaturity. It substitutes the hard, painful work of self-improvement and acceptance with the soothing balm of divine grace. And let's be clear, seeking eternal comfort without personal transformation is not peace. It's a spiritual narcotic. It's the get out of hell free card mentality, where the focus is entirely on securing the afterlife rather than living this one with integrity and courage. If your peace is built on denial or based on the idea that you've managed to trick the cosmic scorekeeper into letting you into the VIP lounge, then it's a counterfeit. It's a peace achieved through self-deception. Listen to that low hum of anxiety. It's your authentic self demanding reality. So, where does real peace actually come from? It comes from the moment you stop subcontracting your life out and declare self-sovereignty. True peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the profound, unshakable strength found by embracing radical honesty, accepting the beautiful, terrifying, chaotic mess of life, and taking actionable responsibility for your growth. This is the peace found in acceptance. The Christian narrative promises a world that makes sense, ruled by a benevolent plan. When that plan fails to materialize, as it often does in a world dealing with human suffering, disease, and random chance, the false peace dissolves, and the believer must frantically rewrite the script to protect their God. True peace accepts that the world is simultaneously full of incredible chaos and breathtaking love. It is beautiful and random. It does not require a higher purpose to be meaningful. Its meaning derives from the fact that this is the only shot we get. We accept the simple, powerful reality that everything that happens, good or bad, is happening on this plane, and it is our job to navigate it. We accept that death is final, which suddenly makes every moment of life excruciatingly precious. This acceptance is terrifying at first, but it is ultimately grounding. It replaces the anxiety of, am I worthy? with the certainty of, I am here and I matter because I exist. True peace comes from within yourself, and it starts with self-acceptance. Christianity teaches you that you are fundamentally sinful, that your natural state is one of depravity, and that you require radical intervention to be acceptable. This is the ultimate self-esteem killer. Atheistic peace is the opposite. You are enough right now. You are a complex, flawed, amazing biological accident. You accept yourself for who you are, failures and all. And here's the key difference. If you don't like who you are, you don't pray to a deity to fix you. You don't wait for grace to transform you. You use critical thinking, reasoning, and self-reflection to identify the behavioral patterns you want to change. And then you take actionable steps in a positive direction. You become your own savior, not out of arrogance, but out of necessity and self-respect. You are the only person who can truly fix your life. The path to true peace requires intellectual muscles that the false peace system encourages you to atrophy. False peace thrives on faith, the willful suspension of disbelief. True peace demands evidence and reason. When anxiety strikes, the Christian response is often to pray harder, read the Bible more, or seek external reassurance. The rational response is to ask, why am I anxious? Is it an external pressure? Is it an emotional need not being met? Is it a conflict between what I publicly profess and what I secretly believe? This one is crucial for the deconstructors. Critical thinking allows you to self-reflect on your thoughts and beliefs, test the foundations of your assumptions, and come to conclusions rooted in reality, not tradition. This intellectual rigor is liberating. When you know why you believe what you believe, and when that belief is supported by evidence, your foundation is granite, not sand. To rely on Christianity is to rely on a myth to keep you safe and saved. This is a profound self-deception that prevents you from developing resilience. True peace understands that bad things happen, and the only reliable variable in managing that chaos is you. Accepting responsibility for your failures, not confessing them to a priest or God, but truly owning the impact of your actions is the mechanism that drives change. When you fail, you don't beg for salvation. You analyze, adjust, and pivot. Are you unhappy with your life? Don't pray for contentment. Change your circumstances. Are you dealing with an addiction? Don't pray for willpower. Seek professional help and build new habits. Are you struggling with self-worth? Don't ask God to define you. Define yourself through hard work and achievement. Trading denial for truth is the only way to build a lasting foundation. False peace is a fragile covering rooted in our efforts to avoid pain and responsibility. True peace is robust. It's the deep, settled confidence that coexists with struggle, anchored in objective reality of who you are and what the world actually is. The irony is profound. Christians seek ultimate safety and security in an external, unverified source, and in doing so, they become perpetually fragile. Atheists, by accepting complete cosmic indifference and their own mortality, gain the ultimate, undeniable freedom and strength. We accept the risk, and in doing so, we become resilient. If you are currently feeling that terrifying shift, that moment where the checklist calm is failing and the anxiety alarm is blaring, understand this. You are not being condemned. You are being invited. You are being invited to question everything. You are being called to move out of a counterfeit calm and into something infinitely more authentic, more challenging, and ultimately more rewarding. This journey out of faith is messy. It's painful. It involves grieving the loss of the safety net. But I promise you, when you step off the cliff of comfortable delusion and land firmly on the concrete of reality, you will find a peace you never knew existed. To my fellow atheists, ex-Christians, skeptics, and deconstructors, congratulations! You did the work. You accepted reality instead of believing in a myth. You found inner peace by asking the questions that needed asking, researching the answers honestly, and choosing the truth, even when it was inconvenient. You found the beautiful, quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are the architect of your own meaning and the captain of your own ship. You chose the hard-won peace of self-sovereignty over the fleeting comfort of theological submission. You are living in reality. You have accepted the chaos, you have accepted yourself, and you have built a peace that fear cannot touch. Because it is anchored not in hope for the next life, but in the appreciation of this one. If you feel that low hum of anxiety under the surface of your otherwise peaceful religious life, don't ignore it. Listen to it. It might be the sound of your own mind telling you that there is something deeper, realer, and more lasting to be found than the comfort you've constructed for yourself. Now, go and do the work. False peace is a fragile covering. True peace is robust. It requires action, thought, and courage. Now, I want to hear from those of you who have made the leap. As an ex-Christian, in a sentence or two, share one thought you had about the difference between a real and a fake sense of peace in your own life when you were a believer. For example, my Christian peace felt like holding my breath, waiting for the shoe to drop. My peace now is knowing I can handle the shoe when it lands. You never know. Your moment of clarity might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today to start questioning their own sense of calm. Hit that like button if you found this perspective useful. Subscribe if you want more discussions on reason, reality, and life after faith. And share this video with anyone who seems a little too calm about their existential dread. And if you live in the United States and enjoy this podcast and you would like to support it, please consider making a $3 monthly donation by going to my Patreon and becoming a member. The link is in the video description below. And you can now subscribe to the Secular Strike Back newsletter by clicking on the link I have provided below. The newsletter is only available in English, so sorry for all you ones who are in different countries listening. It's only available in English. Thank you all for watching. Choose courage, choose reality, and choose peace.